Hi everyone, this is Shawn Severson from International Sporto, and welcome back to Shawn's Corner. This is the last full-length segment of teacher training this year, and we're going to take a little break. I think we'll tell you a little more about that next week, but for now, I'd like to just share with you a few things, and this one is called My Word. We're going to look at Word. We're going to look at some of the mysteries of Word and see how to make it simpler. And we're going to look at 4 different tips. One of them I already mentioned, it's true, but I'll actually show you today. So let's go to it. So the first one is the formatting paintbrush. And it's a really great tool because what you can do is cut and paste from another application or another document. And when you bring that text into your document, you want it to look like the rest. So we're going to use this little paintbrush to do that. So let's see. All right, well, let's explore how to cut and paste from one document or from one site into a Word document. So let's start off with the title here from last week's blog entry, a focus on development from the 10 things to do in 2019. And I'm going to copy that and I'm going to put it over here in my Word document. And it's come out with a hyperlink. I don't even want that. I don't want it blue. I want it larger. Actually, what I want is this style, the title style. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select that title style. I'm going to go to my paintbrush, my format paintbrush, and I'm going to click on that. And then I'm going to go down here and I'm going to select all of this text, and it turns or looks the same way now as the title. Okay, so as that was my title, it was the format actually, I can delete that. Now I want to take the first paragraph. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to select the text, Control C for copy, and then I'm going to go over here underneath it and I'm going to do Control V to paste it. Now you can use your right click options if you like. Once again, I have a different font than what I want. I have here Times New Roman 12, and my font that I want is Arial 12. So again, I'm going to select what I want. I'm going to click on the Format Paintbrush, and then I'm going to select the text that I want to change. And it's changed. Looks good. I'd like to try this just once again to show you that you can have a lot of different styles going on and a lot of crazy stuff and get it all fixed with one brush stroke. So again, the idea was to go to the style we liked, to click on the paintbrush, to go here, and it's all the same. And now let's make this all text down below. So again, I want this text style, and it's all done. Got rid of all the colors, it got rid of all the different fonts, it got rid of the bolds and everything, and changed it all back to a normal sort of thing. While we're at it and while we're working with formatting, let's look at what we'd do if we had everything formatted exactly as we like. For example, we might have a title bar that we really like in a different color font, different, bolded in a different weight. And then after that, we're going to have our text, which is going to be smaller. It's going to not be bold. And we want to always make our worksheets to look the same way. In the case of our International House Porto worksheets, we always have the logo in the upper right-hand corner. And down at the bottom, we have a little graphic. It's a rainbow ribbon that we have down there. And we have our web address. And so every single worksheet has that. And that's a template. So I'm going to show you how to make your own template. Here we go. Let's make a template. This is pretty easy because all we have to do is just set up the text formatting as we like it. So I'm typing in the word title because I always like to give my documents a title. And I'm typing in the word text. And now, Let's change the style of this title. I like to give it a large font. We use Arial for our International House documents, so I'm going to give it Arial. And I'm going to make it bold, and I'm going to make it 16 point to make it nice and big. And I'm going to give it a color that I like too. And I like to give my titles a dark blue color. The text I'm going to leave black, okay, but I'm going to change, of course, the text style, font again to Arial. And I'm not going to make it bold, I'm going to make it 12 point because that's just a standard size. All right, so we've got our formatting as we like it. Now all we have to do is save. So go up to the File menu, or some of you you're saving in another area, depends on your Word version, and I'm going to save as. Now there are many options. The option I want is Word template.dotx. And I'm going to call this worksheet template. And I'm going to save it. And there you have it. Now every time that you open up this document, it's not going to open as worksheet_template. What it's going to open up as is a new document. So you're never going to copy over this one. It's always going to come up clean. So you've got your template. The third tip, and this is not an invented problem or an invented thing that people complain about. It's really real. When you bring in a picture into Word, a lot of times it jumps around on the page, and especially if you bring in a second one. Then one might land on top of the other, they jump around the page, and you have a mess. All right, let's deal with the problem of dancing pictures. As you see, when I move around a picture, things are not staying where I want them to be, and they're changing location in respect to each other. Now I've got my pretty picture here of flowers, and I really want that over on the right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I can either right-click and go to Wrap Text. The magic word is tight, or in Portuguese, justo. Now that one's changed, but I have to change all of them. Another way of doing this is double-clicking on the picture, and you'll get a picture format tab, and you can go to Wrap Text again, and again tight. Okay, so now I actually could put this on the right-hand side. If I want, I could do the paintbrush just a little bit on top of it to paint my pretty flowers. Okay, but I have to do it on all of them because otherwise these other ones will not obey. So tight. Okay, and then I can put it here, for example. And the last one is in limbo here. So again, we have to do it tight. And there we have it. Now they will move where I want them. I can put one on top of another. I can do lots of different things with them. The last tip is setting the language in our document. Because we as language teachers, we sometimes go between English and Portuguese or another language. And for each document, we want to make sure that we have the right language so that spell check is helping us and grammar check is also helping us. So the key here is going to be to look for something that looks like a dictionary. Let's show you where it is in my computer. I know yours will probably have it in a different place because every version of Word is a little different. Let's set the language of the document we're writing in so that we can spell check. Okay, this step is pretty easy. We need to go to the Review tab because here is where we have several options that will help us revise our document. And we're going to click on Language. But first, actually, we have to select the text. And we're going to go to Language. Because I see a whole bunch of red underlining, and I see that there's a problem. And the problem is, right now, for some reason, I have this document in German. I need to put it in English. So I click on that. Same thing goes for the sentence here. Because it's set in English, I need to set it in Portuguese. And down here, the same thing. And it was set in Portuguese, I need to put it in German. And there we have it. We've set the language. And so now we don't have all of that red underlining. In this case here, there is one underline, and that's because the computer doesn't recognize Sylt, which is an island off of Germany. But then when I do the spell check, I can ignore that, and then, because I know it's right, so I'm going to ignore it. And lo and behold, everything's all correct now, and nothing's underlined anymore. So there you have it. 4 tips for making Word just a little friendlier. It wasn't hard, was it? So this is the last content-filled Shawn's Corner of the year. Next week, I'm hoping to give you a little sneak peek of what we're going to be doing in the coming year, and to also repeat my commitment that we're going to have this every week on Tuesdays. And I hope to have a guest too. So watch for us. And for now, have a little learning experience with your Word and make it treat you well so you don't say, oh my word. Bye.